There are 314 machines on the entire planet that can print the circuits for every advanced chip that runs your AI, your phone, and your military hardware. One country built every single one of them. 0 of them are in China. And this month, that country's own trade minister got on a plane, walked into Washington, and told the United States Congress politely but very clearly to back off. So here's the question that should be keeping people in Washington up at night. What do you do when the single most powerful government on earth needs something that only one small company in one small European country is capable of making, and that company just said no? Hi, I'm Sirat, a lawyer turned cybersecurity specialist. With a background in law and tech, I analyze how technology, cybersecurity, and geopolitics collide to shape global power. So let's rewind. In April, a bill called the Match Act showed up in Congress. On paper, it sounds routine, another chip export restriction aimed at China. Look closer and it's actually a huge escalation. The bill wants to ban Chinese chip makers not just from the newest, most advanced lithography machines, a ban that already exists, but from an entire older generation of equipment that has been sold commercially openly for more than 10 years. Those older machines are called deep ultraviolet lithography systems, DUV for short. And here's the part that makes this story different from every other tech export headline you have seen. There is exactly one company on earth that makes them, ASML, headquartered in the Netherlands, Europe's most valuable company. It's the sole supplier for every lithography machine used to manufacture every advanced chip on the planet. The ones in your phone, in every data center, and every AI model, even in fighter jets. To put a number on it, there are 314 extreme ultraviolet lithography machines in existence anywhere in the world right now. ASML built all 314. 26 have been retired, 0 have been sold to China. Without ASML's most advanced tools, nobody, not TSMC, not Samsung, not Intel, can build a chip below the 3nm node. Without its older DUV tools, you can't even mass-produce the unglamorous chips that run cars, hospital equipments, and telecom networks. ASML isn't a major player in lithography, ASML is lithography. There is no competitor waiting in the wings, no backup supplier, no plan B. This is what makes the Match Act so combustible. China currently buys about 19% of ASML's total system sales, roughly $1.6 billion a year. And every one of those machines is an older DUV tool, not the cutting-edge stuff. ASML's own CEO put it bluntly earlier this year, essentially telling reporters that nobody is in a position to replace them. That is not arrogance, that is just a description of physics and supply chain. So when the Match Act proposed banning even the decades-old machines, the Dutch government didn't send a strongly worded letter. Their trade minister got on a plane, sat down across from Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and members of Congress and made it personal. He called the trip exceptional, which, if you know anything about a Dutch diplomatic understatement, is basically a 5-alarm fire. This is a government that almost never intervenes this directly in another country's legislative process, doing exactly that on American soil over a single piece of hardware. If this resonated with you, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Here's the basic nuance most coverage is missing. Back in 2023, the Netherlands did agree to restrict ASML's most cutting-edge EUV machines at Washington's request. Reluctantly, but they did, because the security case for keeping the bleeding edge out of China fabs were genuinely credible. DUV is a different story entirely. These are machines that have been shipping to Chinese customers for years. ASML engineers are physically on the ground in Chinese factories serving them right now. The Hague's argument is simple. Banning equipment this old won't meaningfully slow down China. Chinese firms, including Huawei's chip-making arm, have consistently treated every restriction as a challenge to engineer around, not a wall. What the ban would do is strip billions from ASML's revenue, destabilize the single most valuable export sector in the Dutch economy, and send a message to every European tech company that Washington will keep moving the target until there is nothing left worth selling to. And this is where it gets bigger than than one bill. ASML isn't just a hardware company anymore. It has become a financial backbone for Europe's AI ambitions. It has poured 1.3 billion euros directly into Mistral, the continent's most valuable AI company. It has partnered with SAP on sovereign enterprise AI. Its machines underpin every AI chip every hyperscaler on the planet uses, American or Chinese. Europe doesn't build the chips, it builds the machines that build the chips. And that single fact hands it leverage that no American tariff, no sanctions bill, no act of Congress can really touch. Analysts at the Lawfare Institute made a sharp observations recently that Europe's real semiconductor strategy was never about competing with TSMC on manufacturing volume. It was always about leverage, and ASML is that leverage in one company. Here is my honest read on where this goes. I don't think the Match Act survives in its current form. Dutch lobbying, backed by the broader EU diplomatic machine, is going to blunt or outright kill the DUV restrictions before it reaches a floor vote. ASML almost certainly keeps selling older generations equipment into China through at least 2027, and that revenue keeps funding both its research and development and its bets on European AI infrastructure. But the bigger lesson here isn't really about chips, it is that Washington is discovering in real time that you can have an aggressive export control policy or you can have ASML's cooperation, but you cannot have both at once. And you definitely cannot legislate your way around a monopoly you don't own. If you want to see the other side of this story, how France and Germany already fired the American intelligence platform Palantir and choose a French company instead, go watch this video next. It connects directly to this one. And if you think the Match Act survives or dies, tell me in the comments. I read all of them. Subscribe if you want the next one delivered straight to you. Take care. Bye.